Hey guys, it's Skygen Hunter. I know there's a lot of video guides out on YouTube on how to do the Sphinx riddles in Dragon's Dogma 2, but I want to do a video that not only shows you my take on the whole thing, but also doesn't omit all the dialogue for the Sphinx. If you're not going to play Dragon's Dogma 2 or you're just not going to go that deep into the game, I still think the character is super cool and I wanted to show it off. The only things that we're going to be doing, and this is very early game, for prep is you want to be an archer. It could be level 1. We just need the ability to fire a bow. You need a fairy stone, which you'll need to buy. You should have more than enough money at the very start to buy one. If you can, sit at a bench and just rinse and repeat until 3 days elapse so you can buy a second one. If you can't afford 20,000, it's fine. I think just one, you could still make it through. The next point is we're going to go into the Rift Stone at the main town, and we're just going to recycle low-level pawns until we have one that pops up that is called Sphinx Parent, Sphinx Mother, or Sphinx Father. Any one of those three will work, and it doesn't have to be a Capcom official pawn. It could be any pawn. That's going to be used for one of the riddles, so just refresh and refresh. Maybe just go down the search list, change the vocations. Just look at like pawns in the Rift. There's a list you can see, and eventually you'll find it. Okay, so here I found a non-Capcom pawn called Sphinx Mother. These are without a space in between Sphinx and Mother, Sphinx Father, or Sphinx Parents. Either or works. In order to get to the location of the Sphinx, we're going to want to start from Checkpoint Town. So go to the west point of Vermont, and you can go and just await for the ox cart. As long as you've got 200 gold to pay the man his due, you should be able to take that and arrive at Checkpoint Town. Now, of course, you might have a battle occur in the middle of the trip, or maybe you'll get lucky and you'll just get there in one shot. But just deal with whatever comes, and I'll see you back at Checkpoint Town. Okay, we are just arriving. You don't have to go into Checkpoint Town. You can just turn right back around the other way. And we're going to be running down here and going down the ravine to the left-hand side. Sorry, pawn, don't want you. This is one of two major routes of getting there. I just find this one very helpful. And we're not going to be fighting for pretty much anything, so just ignore all the monsters and just keep running straight. Now once you run down to the very bottom of this slope, there is a camp with a rift stone, and I do believe I read that this rift stone has a very high probability of having one of the Sphinx Parents appears, which makes total sense. I haven't tried it, but you can do that if you're having no luck at a regular rift stone. So keep going forward, and outside the opening you're going to see a drake and a cyclops duking it out. This is the ancient battlefield, and we're going to be going into the structure to the left of them, and we're just going to be going all the way up as high as we can and into the cave that exists there. Now it is kind of a jungle gym, and you might run into goblins or harpies, so I'm not going to necessarily root it out for you. Just climb all the way up and to the left, and once you get to the very top, you'll know it. You'll have the sleeping orc over here. Just go up the ladder, and we're just going to go behind him into the caves behind. Again, I think there's like 3 or 4 different routes you can take to get here, so whatever you find works, just scrap it together and run with it. Speaking of running, I'm just going to be running through this entire cavern. I'm not going to be fighting anything. Here's the map that shows you the route. Should be pretty easy to follow. As you get to the end, you're going to see the sort of outside here, and there is a golem. Again, I'm super early in the game, so I'm not going to fight it. You don't have to fight it, which is nice. Just ignore it. Keep running forward, and you'll notice there's like iconography of the Sphinx around, letting you know that you're in the right location. So we're just going to go up here, up the stairs to the front of the shrine, and then we are going to meet the Sphinx itself. I will be showing the audio so that you can enjoy the creepy, eerie, wonderful nature of this creature.
Another dogged adventurer come to take my life. Many have tried, and as you can plainly see, all have failed. I would abandon any such fool ideas if I were you. After all, that which is won by brute force is apt to be lost to the same. Perhaps I might interest you in a game of wits instead. I set before you a simple task. Solve my riddles to satisfaction. Should your answers please me, I will bestow upon you the contents of yon chests. I trust I have your attention? If so, take your place and we shall begin.
The Sphinx's riddles are designed to baffle and confuse. I fear we pawns can be of little.
Your resolve is commendable. The fool beholds a sage in the mirror. The sage a fool. Which is it you see, I wonder? Our eyes are our allies, yet oft do they betray, for eyes tell lies. So I advise, and thence do lead astray. Yet, how will your eyes advise you? Venture through yonder door, and retrieve that which is of greatest value.
Okay, now on to solve the Riddle of Eyes. There's a cavern down here. It's not huge, but you can explore this place. It's got some winding up and down paths and some treasure boxes at the end that just have rotten fruit in them. But at the very entrance, there's sort of a out-of-sight chest. This is the rare item that you need to grab. So your eyes deceive you by sort of pointing you down the route of the cave looking for treasure.
Come to test your wits. Yet, how will your eyes advise you? Venture through yonder door and retrieve that. So, this is your choice? The greatest worth your eyes descried? Indeed, this is what I sought. Your eyes see true. No greater worth can there be than that found in simplicity. As promised, I shall bestow upon you a prize. Collect it from yon chest and take this file too. Its purpose I shan't divulge. How you use it is up to you.
Now you do get to keep the file that you found, which is really interesting. If you look at the description, it allows you to sort of like just use it and it'll suck up the NPC that is next to you into the bottle. And then whenever you want, you can open it up once. It's a consumable, so you can only do it once, but the NPC will pop out. So very easy to teleport an NPC from one location to another.
Come to test your wits. Love is as twin to madness, they say. They are bound fast, as night is today. So bring forth your most beloved to me, that I might gauge the depth of your insanity.
Now, while you can go like literally and grab an NPC that you have romanced, aka when you talk to them they get all red in the face, but honestly just grab your main pawn. That's good enough. No matter where you are at the game, it always works. And if you want a slightly different, interesting dialogue choice, you can place all your pawns there to see what she says.
Come to test your wits. Love is as twin to madness. So bring forth your most beloved to me, that I might... Is this your most beloved you bring before me? Well, well. Very good. Not half bad. Yet only one you bring. I thought you capable of more. A promise made, a promise kept. And so I shall open for you a chest.
Well, well. Color me surprised.
I swear that voice works way too well for Astarion. The reward for this is a port crystal. That's going to come in handy.
Come to test your wits. The parent knows the child, yet the reverse is far from true. The child knows not the parent. Such is the parent's due. I am a lost child, for kinship do I yearn. So bring to me my parent, that I might better learn.
This is where, and I gotta admit it's a little bit tacky, but this is where the Sphinx parent, whether it's a mother, father, or parent, comes into play, because the Sphinx had quotes around it, so it's a quote-unquote parent. Sorry, Astarion, you are not the Sphinx parents. Get back over there.
Come to test your wits. The parent, I am a lost child. So bring to me my parent. And you claim this to be the parent I seek. Indeed, you are correct. You have proven your wits, and so I shall bestow upon you a prize. Collect it from yon chest at your leisure.
Not bad, all things considered.
Let's see what your nice juicy reward for that one is. It's some rift crystals. This is really good for just hiring pawns that are higher level than you if you just want to breeze through some stuff or just have it on you for fun.
Come to test your wits. Life is an enigma, a lender of mortal debt. Yet lighter pack makes fleeter foot. So grant to me what you most prize, and thence elude your ponderous demise.
Yes, you're seeing that right. You want to choose the port crystal that you just got, because the Sphinx is testing your conviction. And if you want two, it's a lot better than one.
So, this is your prized possession? A most revealing choice. Do you consent to give it to me, knowing that it may never be returned? Well, well. Very good. That's the spirit. Such generosity deserves a reward, methinks. Why don't you take a peek in yon chest?
I imagine some people kicked themselves when they went into their inventory and realized that she didn't take the first one, she duplicated this. So you can do this to duplicate pretty much any item in the game, but port crystal is by far your best choice.
Come to test your wits. It's ever the first we keep fond in our breast, and ever the first that eclipses the rest. You know of the Seeker's tokens, I trust. Those keepsakes of a fondly remembered journey. Yet where was it that you found your first? Retrace your steps if you can. You might make a new discovery. 7 days, shall we say, ere you return? May your journey be a pleasant one.
This one is a little bit evil because it could be hard to remember where the first one you got was. Luckily I knew to mark it on my map, but it's probably going to be generally somewhere around Melv. You're going to want to use one of the port crystals to place it here because you're going to have to come back and you don't want to run all the way back here. So go ahead and use that fairy stone to go back to Vermund, sell off some stuff so you can buy another fairy stone, take the axe cart to where Melv or wherever it is that you need to go to find your first seeker token, and you will find another item in its stead. Fun fact, you can actually send this item via a pawn to another player. So if you want to be nice and help the community out, get some additional finders tokens and send them off with pawns. Now go ahead and teleport back to the mountain shrine. I accidentally picked up my port crystal, but you can leave it because your reward for solving this final is going to be a chest that has 3 fairy stones. The problem is that we're not going to be able to open it because we're going to use a trick to get to the second location for the Sphinx by riding it. And if you want to make it on the bus, you got to hop on. You don't have time. But because you're getting 3 fairy stones, you can come back here later with a fairy stone to grab them, pick up your port crystal, fairy stone outwards, and you're a +1 net.
Come to test your wit. Seeker's tokens. Yet where was it? Ah, I see. Well sought and well found. I trust it was a pleasant jaunt. Five riddles have I posed, and 5 answers have you given. Perhaps you expected more, but though constant this world may seem, and so the time has come for me to fly. But for now, I bid you farewell.
A resounding success. Is a strange sort that ventures willingly into darkness.
Getting to the second location is a real pain in the butt, so I highly recommend that you save picking up the fairy stones for later and just hopping on the back of the Sphinx here. I don't know if you can fall off when she does sort of like adjustments like here for your direction, But what I do is I hang on the whole time anyways, and then when I need to replenish my stamina and it looks like we're flying straight, I'll just let go, let my stamina replenish, and then I'll grab on again. Maybe you don't need to grab on at all. I don't know. I'm too scared to test it to find out. You can go ahead and try it and leave in the comments below how it went out, but yeah, if this is your first time, you don't want to risk it. Enjoy the view because this ride lasts for about 4.5 minutes.
Well, so dearly did you love our game that you have sought me out again. Let us resume at once. I too have grown rather engrossed.
Notice that it's calling this the Riddle of Reunion. They never really posed it as a riddle to begin with, but it is a riddle. That'll come in handy later. Go ahead and place down your other port crystal here. You should have one. I have two because I accidentally picked up my last one. But place it right here underneath the stairs so you have a place to come back, save your game, and let's continue. I love the new pose that they gave the Sphinx for this version. And the following questions are all going to be in random order, so the order you get them might be different. So check out the timestamps for the name of the riddle that you're looking for.
How easily the mind unravels. Some say it's pain that does it best, others darkness. But I say neither. Rather, I say a mind cannot be more soundly broken than when it beholds its earnest efforts laid low in a single stroke. Could you survive such despair? We shall see. Here, I have an amphora destined for Sir Moritz in Batal. Deliver it to him, but beware, it's rather fragile. I do hope your struggle will amuse.
So what you need to do here is you can be crazy and pick up the pot and actually deliver it all the way to Batal if you're crazy. But what you can do is just go to the mural that's in that city, grab the archiver there, and bring them here. And there's a very easy way to do that, which I will show you. Now, this was worst case scenario for me because this was very early in the game, and I never went down south yet, so I didn't have a port crystal set up at Batal, and I had to run all the way down there. So I used the waterfall path, which I'm showing a little bit here, but it's just a lot of running, and yeah, eventually I found my way there. Now, I forgot to pick up the chest reward for the Riddle of Reunion, and that is 100,000 gold. So you're definitely going to want to not forget to pick it up, because that's going to be useful if you need to buy some more fairy stones to get around in these final riddles. So here we are. If you look at the minimap on the bottom here, I'm just in the residential area of the city, and if you climb up these rock structures here, you'll be able to find a mural of the Sphinx and an archiver sort of underneath it. There's an actual staircase just leading to it, so it should be very easy to find.
You there. You seem like 'tis a beast of fearsome intellect. Indeed, 'tis said, should the day come that you seek to challenge the Sphinx.
Now, I don't show this in the video because I forgot, but when you're in this town, you want to buy 2 or possibly 3 fairy stones. You can go to the item vendor, buy one, go find a bench, and just spam the triangle button to filter through the days. If you wait 3 full days, then he'll be able to sell you another one. Do that 3 times because it's going to make your life a lot easier. So the cool thing that you can do that the game doesn't really explain to you is that if you have someone picked up by pressing the R2 button and you use a fairy stone, they will teleport with you. So I think maybe they intended for the player to use that ceiling file that you got for the very first riddle to sort of suck up the NPC in a bottle and then teleport with them. But you can just do it by holding them. It seems intended, so I guess this is just another fine solution.
What in the world were you thinking? Hold a moment. For generations now, my family to think that it was hidden here. Is that why you brought me here? So that I might claim it? Oh, joyous day!
Well, well. Very good. well. The amphora, though I'd hoped to savor your dismay, you shall have your prize or...
Outstanding.
And for doing all that, you're going to get a ring that you can gift to any NPC to instantly become sort of max affinity with that character. So if you really want to romance somebody, you can do it that way. Ulrika all the way.
So vast is this world, and full of life, indeed. But are these differences so great? I seek this man. If men are so distinct, I'm sure you'll find him in a trice.
Take note if the hair was flowing to screen left or screen right, because that's going to be the difference. There's two different NPCs in the checkpoint town, one on the northern side, one on the southern, and depending on which NPC was shown, it will be the one that you want. Either, I think it's Dante or Virgil. It's some DMC5 joke. Now here you're going to be using a fairy stone to go back to Vermont, and then go back to checkpoint town via the ox cart, and then find out which one of the NPCs you need to grab, and then teleport back to the shrine with. I was an idiot and I forgot, so if you do find yourself without fairy stones, you got to do it the manual way, which is running through caves filled with tons of dangerous monsters. It's a heck of a journey and a fun challenge if you really want something difficult. But getting your way back to checkpoint town is through this route when you leave the shrine to the right. Okay, finding ourselves back in checkpoint town, there are two ways you can kind of get through the gate by brute force. One is to sleep at an inn, and that will wake you up in the first of morning. Then all you gotta do is a little nap just once on a bench, and it will be afternoon. That will spawn in a sort of closed off cart just outside the checkpoint town, and 5 minutes later that thing will reach the gate at the top. All you gotta do is stand inside and you can ride it to the other side, and they won't catch you for some reason. But the other way, if you find that you woke up and it's just after the afternoon, you can sometimes run up to the gate and sort of the gate's still kind of open for some reason. I think it's because the cart either just went through it, or maybe there's another cart that's going to go through it, but sometimes this works. And if you do notice that the gate is open, just sprint your way through there. The guards are going to aggro and they're going to grab you and arrest you. So make sure you run, and it's going to be the NPC on the other side of the gate if the one inside the town of checkpoint town was not your NPC. I think in most cases it's going to be this guy with his hair flowing to screen left. So we're just going to grab him, pick him up really fast, and then use our fairy stone to go back to the Sphinx. Such an easy way of teleportation.
So vast is this world indeed, but are these differences so great? Is this the man I sought? Truly? You are satisfied with your answer? Then I shall weigh its merit. To pluck a human from the faceless yet pluck you have. And for that, I congratulate you. Another prize is yours for the taking.
That was certainly worthwhile.
A reward for doing that is quite possibly the most fun trickster weapon out there, which is this whimsical daydream. Not only is it a very good weapon, but when you hit monsters, you'll steal gold from them, and it's almost like a lottery. You can get 10 gold, 100 gold. If it's a harder monster, it could be 1,000 gold, and if it's one of the bigger ones like a cyclops or an ogre, you could get 50,000 gold. So it's a way to make money as you play the game. Very fun.
Though ours is a battle of wits, come, try on. However, I am bear this ring into battle.
So the Sphinx will auto-equip you with this ring, which makes you like stupidly weak. So just pick up the soldier and throw him off the edge, and that's how you beat him. Battle of the Wits.
Good show. It seems your mind is as strong as your arm. You have more than earned your reward. Another chest is yours to claim.
And your reward for doing this is going to be a quite nice ring, which boosts some of your power, stamina, and experience gained. So definitely something that you want to have on for the remainder of the game. Now, I had forgotten to pick up that first chest with 100,000 gold. And unfortunately, my last riddle was the quest with the arrow that we need to kill her.
Now, questions beget questions. My memory fails me, you see. Remind me, and make it plain. Let yonder statues be your means. For every question aptly answered, bring one here before me.
This riddle could happen at any point. This just for me was the 9th one. I had completed 9 riddles. You can see that they're actually giving you the answer with the eyes and the wings here of how many you've solved. But they're not asking for how many you've been asked, but how many you solved. So if you've aptly answered everything up until this point, it could be 7, 8, or 9. It depends on the order in which you got your riddles. But if you're unsure, just look at her wings and place the same amount of statues as the number of lit up eyes, and that should do the trick. Note that they don't have to be on that platform. I think they just need to be in front of her. So finally, after bringing 9 of them over, I'm ready to answer this thing and get my prize. This prize I'm going to have to grab fast because it's going to be the arrow of unmaking, which is what we're going to use to defeat her, so we got to do it before she flies off.
Let yonder statues be your means. For every question aptly answered... This is your answer? Are you sure? My, that's quite a number. And the correct one, no less. Of course, your erudition shan't go unrewarded. And with that, our game comes to an end. I shall now take my leave of you to await the next courageous soul who would test their wits against mine.
Now she's starting to run away. Don't let her. So I just went ahead and fought her normally. I hit her with an arrow just so that she would engage me. So if this happens, do this. Go ahead and equip the unmaking arrow and shoot her in the wing. GG's. Now, in most case scenarios, you're probably going to get that question before the final one, in which case you'll already have the arrow, so when you answer the question, you can just equip it, shoot her in the wing, and be done with it without the risk of her flying away. Unfortunately for me, it was the last one. Gold on the ground again, and a key for the large case in the back, which is going to be your internal wake stone. This thing will revive everybody in your vicinity when you use it. It's a one-time use, and this is basically used for Dragon's Plague. If you have it and you end up killing all 240 something people in Vermint, you can use the Eternal Wake Stone anywhere in the town and it will revive pretty much everybody. Go ahead and pick up your Port Crystal, teleport back, and enjoy the rest of the game. The Sphinx for me was a real high point for the game. I really enjoyed this monster, although it wasn't necessarily riddles in the common sense of the word, and more like trick questions. I did find it very interesting. Love the vibe, the voice, the music, the graphics, like the design of the character, and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully you guys found this enjoyable, especially if you're not playing the game. It could be fun just to watch it and see what it's all about. But hopefully if you are playing the game, you found this helpful. Just stock up on, if you can, 3 fairy stones before you start out on this endeavor, and you'll have a much easier time. Yeah, and I hope this theme was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide/video, and until next time, happy riddle solving.